Hey there, book lovers. Welcome back to Wisdom Waves, where we dive into the heart of the best books and bring you quick, powerful summaries in just minutes. Friends, today, we're diving into a book that explores just that. It's called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and it's a fantastical journey that asks, if you could undo your regrets, would you truly be happier? This isn't just a story, it's a deep dive into what it means to live, to regret, and to find your place in the universe. It's a book that truly matters because it challenges us to look at our own lives with fresh eyes. Friends, we always do first. Let's talk a bit about the brilliant mind behind this story, Matt Haig. He's a British author known for his incredible ability to write about big, complicated ideas like mental health, time, and what it means to be human, all while keeping things relatable and full of heart. His writing style is often described as insightful and profoundly human, helping readers feel understood. You might know some of his other popular works. He's written books for adults like Reasons to Stay Alive, where he shares his personal experiences with depression, and How to Stop Time, a novel about a man who lives for centuries. He's also penned charming children's books like A Boy Called Christmas, which has even been made into a movie. People really love his work, and it's easy to see why. As Stephen Fry put it, Matt Haig is astounding. The Observer newspaper called The Midnight Library a rollicking time-hopping fantasy, and the Daily Express praised it as a novel with enormous heart. So, you know you are in for a treat. Now, let's meet the folks who bring this story to life. Nora Seed is our main character. At 35, she feels like a complete failure. She's lost her job, her cat has died, and she's riddled with regrets about past choices. She's stuck in a cycle of sadness, believing she's not cut out for living. Her journey is all about figuring out if her life can ever be different. Then there's Mrs. Elm, Nora's kind and wise old-school librarian. She's Nora's guide in the Midnight Library, helping her understand how everything works. Mrs. Elm is more than just a librarian, she's a calm, understanding presence who challenges Nora and pushes her to see things differently, often through philosophical insights and chess metaphors. We also meet Ash, a kind surgeon who once asked Nora out for coffee. He appears in several of Nora's alternative lives, becoming a significant figure and a symbol of what could have been. Dan is Nora's ex-fiancé, whose dream of owning a country pub becomes one of the first lives Nora explores. His character shows Nora that even dreams you thought you wanted might not bring happiness. Joe is Nora's brother, a musician who blames Nora for leaving their band, The Labyrinths. Their relationship changes dramatically across different lives, highlighting the impact of Nora's choices on those she loves. Izzy is Nora's best friend who moved to Australia. Nora's regret about not joining her leads to an eye-opening experience about unforeseen consequences. And finally, there's Voltaire, Nora's beloved ginger tabby cat, whose death is one of the catalysts for Nora's despair. He even appears in different forms in her alternative lives. The story begins in the very ordinary town of Bedford, England, where Nora lives her root life. It's a place she associates with cold, wet weather and deep disappointment. But then, the real magic happens. After Nora decides to end her life, she doesn't die. Instead, she finds herself in the Midnight Library. This incredible place exists between life and death. Imagine shelves that stretch on forever, filled with books. But these aren't just any books, each one is a different version of Nora's life. The core concept is fascinating. Every decision Nora didn't make, every path she didn't take, exists as a complete life within this library. Mrs. Elm explains that Nora has a chance to undo your regrets by stepping into these lives to see how things would be different. It's a chance to see if any of these alternate realities hold the key to her happiness. If Nora finds a life she truly wants to live, she gets to stay in it forever. But if she feels disappointment in full, she's sent back to the library to choose again. Nora Seed's life is hitting rock bottom. She's 35, jobless from a music shop called String Theory, her cat Voltaire has just died, and she feels completely alone and filled with regret. She writes a goodbye note, believing she makes life worse for others and has nothing to give. Nora dives into a life where she married Dan and they run a pub. At first, it seems nice, but she quickly finds that Dan has become unfaithful and drinks too much, and the dream of the pub wasn't really hers. She feels like she's living someone else's dream, and the disappointment sends her back to the library. Mrs. Elm helps Nora understand that her regret about Voltaire's death was based on a misunderstanding. Her cat had a heart condition and was going to die anyway. This makes Nora realize that some regrets are a load of bullshit. Nora then tries a life where she moved to Australia with her best friend Izzy, but tragically, Izzy dies in a car accident in that reality. Nora experiences deep grief and finds herself stuck in depression, realizing that even good choices can have unforeseen, painful outcomes. Next, she jumps into a life where she became an Olympic swimming champion, a dream her father had for her. She achieves immense success and fame, but her parents divorce, and her brother becomes an alcoholic. She feels a profound loneliness and realizes that external success doesn't always equal internal happiness. During this life, she has a near-death encounter with a polar bear in the Arctic when she's trying out a glaciologist life, which, surprisingly, makes her realize she actually wants to live. She also meets Hugo Lefevre, another slider like her, who explains the concept of the multiverse and that there are infinite possibilities. She tries a life as a rock star with her brother's band, The Labyrinths. She's incredibly famous, but this life is chaotic, and she learns that her brother Joe died from an overdose in this reality. This painful truth confirms that fame isn't the answer either. Nora tries many more lives: a gentle life working at an animal shelter, a vineyard owner in California, a single parent, a chess champion, and a Cambridge professor married to Ash with a daughter named Molly. This last life seems perfect: a loving husband, a sweet daughter, a fulfilling career, and no financial stress. Yet, she still feels like a fraud, a stranger, in someone else's perfect life, and she discovers that in this reality, Mrs. Elm has died. She also sees that her small choices in her root life, like teaching Leo piano, had a ripple effect, leading him to trouble in other lives. Nora begins to feel lost, losing her sense of identity. She realizes that constantly trying to find a perfect life is leading her nowhere. The Midnight Library starts to collapse. Mrs. Elm explains that this is happening because Nora's original life is nearing its end, and the library, which exists because of Nora, is in jeopardy. Time in the library begins to tick forward, indicating a decisive moment. Nora is terrified. She realizes she doesn't want to die. She desperately wants to live in her original life. Mrs. Elm urges her to find the blank book, her own unwritten future. As the library crumbles around her, Nora finds this blank book. She takes her old school pen, given to her by Mrs. Elm, and with all her might, she writes 3 powerful words, a statement of defiance and hope: I am alive. And with that, the library vanishes, and Nora wakes up in her original bed, disoriented but alive. She's in pain and exhausted, but she feels an overwhelming gratitude for simply being alive. She manages to get to her neighbor, Mr. Banerjee, who calls an ambulance. In the hospital, she declares, I don't want to die anymore. She begins to shed her old regrets, understanding that her own life, with all its imperfections, is full of potential and worth living. She reaches out to her brother Joe, reconnects with Izzy, and starts to make positive choices, like offering piano lessons to Leo again. She begins to appreciate the small, kind moments that make her life uniquely hers, understanding that the impossible happens while living. This book is packed with big ideas, regret and choices. At its heart, the story is about the burden of regret and the power of choice. Nora's journey shows us that endlessly wondering about what if can trap us, and that true freedom comes from accepting the choices we've made. The multiverse and possibility. The concept of the Midnight Library is based on the idea of a multiverse, where every possible outcome of every decision exists. It highlights the infinite possibilities available, even within our single life. Defining happiness and success. Nora's experiences teach her that happiness isn't about achieving external markers of success like Olympic medals or fame or living someone else's dream. True fulfillment comes from within, from self-acceptance and finding meaning in your own unique journey. Self-acceptance. A huge lesson for Nora is to embrace her uniqueness. She learns to accept her flaws, her past, and who she is, rather than trying to be someone else. The importance of connection. Though Nora often feels lonely in her root life, her journey reveals the deep impact her relationships have on her and on others. Love and connection are universal currencies, more valuable than any external achievement. This book is full of insightful lines. Here are a couple that really stick with you. 1. Between life and death there is a library, Mrs. Elm said. And within that library, the shelves go on forever. Every book provides a chance to try another life you could have lived. To see how things would be if you had made other choices. Would you have done anything different, if you had the chance to undo your regrets? This quote perfectly sets up the entire premise of the book. It introduces the magical setting and the central question that Nora and the reader will grapple with: what if we could change our past? It highlights the concept of infinite possibilities and the power of regret. Though, you don't have to understand life. You just have to live it. Analysis: this is arguably the most important lesson Nora learns. Throughout her journey, Nora, a philosophy graduate, tries to understand everything, to find the right answer or the perfect life. But Mrs. Elm and her experiences show her that life isn't a problem to be solved or understood intellectually. It's an experience to be embraced, imperfections and all. This quote encourages a shift from overthinking and regret to active, engaged living. It's about being present and finding meaning in the moment. So, what can we take away from Nora's incredible adventure? First, you don't need a perfect life to be happy. Nora experiences seemingly perfect lives only to find them lacking. Happiness isn't found in a checklist of achievements or in external circumstances. Second, happiness comes from within. It's about how you choose to see and engage with your own life, not about altering your past choices. Third, letting go of regret is freeing. Many of Nora's regrets were based on misinterpretations or external pressures. By letting them go, she finds peace and potential in her existing life. Finally, every life has good and bad. No matter which path you take, you will encounter challenges and joys. It's about finding meaning and value in the life you are living right now. Nora realizes her own messy life has its own logic to it and is a beautiful messy struggle. My personal takeaway is that this book is a powerful reminder to be kinder to ourselves and to appreciate the present moment. We often focus so much on what we didn't do or who we aren't, but this story beautifully illustrates that your current life is just as full of wonder and potential as any other. Now, I want to hear from you. If you had a chance to visit the Midnight Library, what's one choice you would revisit, and why? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give this video a like, share it with a friend who might love this book, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into amazing stories. Thanks for watching, and keep reading.